So today we're going to do easy pork loin country style ribs. They're pretty quick. The longest part is just getting them in the pan and slow cooking them for the hour. You don't have to do anything other than let them cook slow for an hour. After that we'll move on to the baking part, which only takes about 10 minutes, 15 minutes because you just want to coat it with the barbecue sauce to make it really tasty. So we're going to start with our pork ribs here. And I got a burner on high. We're going to put some oil in the pan. This will help keep some of the juices in when you fry it. We want to keep as much of the juice in there as we can. I'm not measuring. Everyone that's all worried about measuring, just make it the way you want it. We like a lot of garlic here, so we're putting a lot of garlic powder. So much so I'm going to run out here and I'm going to use the Kirkland brand in a minute. Because these are really thick pieces, so they can have a lot and it isn't going to affect it too much. This one, it looks like it's good. That's an ixnay one, all gone. Okay. And we're going to use some salt and pepper. That's like our three main ingredients all the time to have is the salt, pepper, garlic. That usually does most things until you get into specialty stuff. A little bit of that. Do some salt. Roll them over again. We're just going to sear them real quick before we put water in here to steam them for that quick time. You can do this in the oven too if you want it, but if you already got it out, you might as well leave that one pan dirty. But it's hot, you can hear it sizzling. I like doing fried chicken. Put those in there. I'm trying our trusty new copper pan I got for holidays. We're seeing how it works. As a handy Christmas gift, so we're going to pause. Well, I guess I'll keep cooking this part for a second until I get to the adding the water part. We're just quick searing them. Got my tongs. I got this on high. I want to get them seared pretty good, pretty quick. One of the tricks when you're searing food or cooking food like this, you want to play with them as little as possible. Let them do the job of cooking first. If you keep screwing with them, they'll stick to the bottom of your pan and you'll have issues. So just let them fry a little bit until they get a nice coating. It'll automatically release from the pan. Like I said, we're just basically sticking the seasoning to it. We don't want it to go anywhere, so it's a real quick process. Got a golden brown on that one, looking good. Some golden brown there. And that could just be the heavy load of garlic we put on there if you really like it. So we're going to keep frying them here for another probably minute on this side. We're not frying till they're done. We're just, again, making a nice seal for the juices to stay in there as much as possible when we quick steam them. Okay, so we've done about a minute on each side. Each one's got a little bit of brown on, a little coating. We got some of that fat seared up in there. So now we're going to do the part that they do everywhere else at restaurants, so you know about it. Just cook them, slow cook them for like an hour, either in an oven or in a water bath. And then we're just going to heat them up in the oven and make sure the sauce stays on it. So the main cooking part's getting done right here. And now we're going to go ahead and add water and cover it and let it steam. You want to make sure it does go to a boil. It's hot enough to actually cook these. So you don't want to add your water too fast, only because you could warp your pan. If your pan's too hot and you add cold water, your pan tends to warp. So I'm just going to put it in there so it keeps bubbling as I go in. That way it keeps boiling. We don't want to warp it. We'll slowly cool the pan. It got hot real quick now by doing that nice and slow, and that was ice water from the fridge and it's already going good. So at this point all we're going to do is cover it with some foil and let it slow cook. You turn the heat down and let it run for about an hour and get nice and tender. Okay, with the foil, give me 1 second. If you got a lid that fits your pan, that's great. We don't have to have a lid for this pan, it's a new one. So I'm going to crank it all the way down to low and just let it simmer like chicken. Just for a little bit.
1 hour?
Yeah, 45 minutes. You can test it when it falls off the bone. It's time to put the barbecue sauce on it and quick broil it for about 10 minutes and get the barbecue sauce nice and sticky. We'll go to that next. Okay, well we're waiting for that to cook. It's down to 41 minutes, so it's been 4 minutes. We decided we were going to have twice baked potatoes and green beans. So this is a family of 4, but it's really like 2.5, maybe 3 because of our children. They're not gonna eat as much, but you gotta figure at least 1 baked potato per person. So real quick, we're doing this to do twice bake. You can microwave them early because if they get cold, you're going to be heating them up again to do the twice bake part. So we're going to stab all 4 of those, put them in. It takes about 4 minutes of potato when you're doing this big. Okay, so while we're microwaving the potatoes, we'll make sure we have everything else ready. You're going to need butter. And twice baked potatoes, you don't need to have milk because you're going to be adding sour cream and stuff to it and onions.
So we do have a block of cheese.
We got a block of cheese. We got some green onions here. Pull off all the rest of the green onions you don't want real quick. I'm going to grab a knife. I always tell my wife proper knife does the job, so we're going to use a chopping knife. Keep a steel on hand, you always want to keep your knife sharp. Your knife really never goes dull, it basically just curves the metal, so if I hit it with that metal steel a couple times each time, it'll keep it really sharp. And again, keep your fingers back curled under so you don't hit them. Twice baked potatoes, general recipe, green onion, sour cream, butter, potato, and then cheese. So all those can vary. We're not going to measure anything again just because it's whatever you like. If you like a lot of green onion, put a lot of green onion. If you like a lot of cheese, put a lot of cheese. If you like extra sour cream, put it in. Just keep in mind the sour cream is going to make it a little wetter when you add it, but by not adding the milk, you don't have to worry about getting too wet. Twice baked potatoes are usually a drier item, and we're not going to try saving half the skin fancy at the restaurant. We're just going to mix it in a bowl and heat it up. Because all they're doing when they bake it at a restaurant is just because they kept them cold in the refrigerator for a long time, so they got to reheat them somehow. So they call them twice baked. Really, it's just a reheated potato. It just makes it easy for them. So we got quite a bit of cheese here for 4 potatoes. It's probably not the healthiest dish, but boy does it taste good. So we got the cheese, sour cream's ready. That's going to be our mix for the potatoes. We're going to open the green beans. One green bean recipe that we probably like is garlic and butter with green beans. It's
more
really
garlic.
good.
We just like garlic.
Just be careful, the garlic gets a little spicy sometimes. You put too much on, but the kids love it too, and the stars do.
It's simple. Just green beans, garlic, salt and pepper, and scoop of butter.
So right now we're at 10 minutes into this cooking process. I still put this in a 130-minute dinner because your actual time working on it will be under 30 minutes other than the time the thing sits there and cooks slow. So we're going to drain the water out of the beans real quick. We're simple, so we're just going to heat these up in the microwave when it comes time to eat. One of them will have extra garlic on it because for me and my wife. We're going to do some salt. The kids aren't so much in. They like the garlic, but not as much. So we'll make sure we cover it with some garlic. Yeah, a blob of butter on each one.
Scoop.
And put it aside. At this point, we just wait another 10 minutes for the potatoes to get done, maybe 15. And I'll show you how to do the twice baked part, and it'll be pretty much dinner will be ready after that's done. Okay, so our pork chops or country chops, we want to do it pretty quick. They've been cooking for about 1 hour and 20 minutes. I've had to add some water, but they should come apart. Once they come apart, you know you're getting real close to finish them. So I'm just going to cook that down, that liquid down. We're going to reduce that. Now we're going to peel these potatoes because we're going to do the
They're already baked.
twice baked. We just took them out of the nuker. We've been sitting there for that 40 minutes. But
in the microwave, yeah.
Yep, out of the microwave. So I'm just going to cut the skin off as close as I can to it. We didn't wash the skin because we're not keeping the skin. Well, once you get most of the skin off, you can leave some on if you like skin on them. That's totally up to you. You just got to make sure if you leave the skin on that you wash them so you don't leave all the dirt in your tater. So again, we're just peeling down pretty easy here.
Our kids don't like the skin, that's why we're doing this.
Well, I think you don't like the skin too, so.
That's right.
Tater. We're not being real precise here. We're just kind of zipping through them. And then we're going to add all this cheese and sour cream. And we're just going to nuke it to finish it up. The toaster oven has been heating up. You can heat up your oven to broil. We just want to put the ribs in there quick enough to get them to get sticky.
We're doing broil, 450. Warm up the pan. That's
We
for the
use a
ribs.
toaster oven just because it's a lot more convenient when you're not doing a small thing instead of heating up the whole oven to do something tiny. Sorry for my cold today. Can't breathe. Okay, so now we're just cleaning all these up, getting all the taters out we can get out. And you can be more, you can get it cleaner if you like. I just want to get most of it, that little bit of stuff there. You can feed the animals or whatever. Now we're going to put some cheese in. We like a lot of cheese. Again, we're not measuring. I don't want you to get hung up on all this measuring. It's usually not required. You're not baking. The only time you're really going to measure is when you're baking. The kid's going to eat it with onion in it, Kasher?
Probably not. I decorated the onion on it.
Okay, so we're going to skip the onion for the kids, and then when we're done, we'll just put fresh onion on our plate. All this leftover cheese here, my little girl will come over here and just slam that. And put some sour cream in. You hear those pork chops sizzling away behind me. And I'm not really messing with them too much. We just want that to reduce. We're going to use all that good sauce, and we're going to add the barbecue right to it, and then dump it into the, put it right in the toaster oven to get nice and crispy. And now they're getting real crispy. We like Sweet Baby Ray's, so we're going to put some of that on there. And that wasn't enough Sweet Baby Ray's. We're gonna have a little bit more. This is a different flavored Baby Ray's. Nope, that's the regular one. That's the one we like. Right now, I just want to get them a little coated. Get some of that flavor gets going in there. Get all that in there. See, it's starting to fall apart.
Just like we like it.
Now that our toaster oven should be getting warm, we'll get this finished up here. We'll be ready to go here in just a minute. I'll get this sour cream open. We like a lot of sour cream. You don't have to put a lot. It's totally up to you. Again, always keep your salt and pepper handy. Everything takes salt and pepper. Everything takes salt and pepper. Don't be afraid of it. We're going to push that down a little bit. Right now these potatoes are just warm because they've been sitting a while, so it won't melt right away. I'm just going to nuke it, microwave it there for about 2 minutes to get it to melt. And we'll keep mixing it up. I'm going to nuke it for 2 minutes, see if it gets hot. Then we're going to work on the ribs. Our little pan we started with is nice and hot. Turn off this, we don't burn it. Look at the bottom of those, nice and crispy looking. Once it goes in the toaster oven, it's going to get even better. Put all those in there. We like the grease stuff, you want all that. You don't have all the grease, but we want the good barbecue sauce that's stuck in the bottom of the pan there.
You want that?
Yeah, that's all the barbecue sauce. So we got them all in the pan. Just a little more sauce, depends totally up to you how much you like. The reason we're putting this in here is just to get it nice and crispified on top, or juicy, or however you want to put it. We'll get these ready to microwave, and dinner should be ready. Microwave this for 2 minutes. Nice and warm. You can do 3, 4, whatever you think it's going to take to get it hot. Let's see how the cheese getting all nice and gooey in there. Get all that mixed up. But basically, the difference between this and what a restaurant does for twice baked potatoes, they put it back in the shell, and then they wrap it up. They freeze it, so when you order it, they put it back in the oven and get it nice and hot. But you can skip that whole process, just serve it right on the plate. We're going to put cheese and onion on it. So I'll show you here. We're getting done. And we got the green beans nuking away. This is going to be Kasha's twice bake. She likes green onion. And we should have ribs coming out here. They've only been in there about 2 minutes. Our green beans are going. You see we got just enough for 4 people. The ribs have only been in there for about 2 minutes. They're already bubbling, looking nice and meaty. Okay, got the ribs. We're gonna get those out. They look nice and juicy.
Okay, hold on.
My son's already talking about getting some over here. Better give him a piece. I'll get a big one. There you go. Total time actually working on it was about 25 minutes. But obviously the meat had to cook by itself. There was water in it for about an hour and 15, but you don't have to do a whole lot when you're doing that. Just watch it. Everything else took about 20, 25 minutes to make, and you got a good balanced meal. You got your potato, cheese, beans, ribs, and ready to go. Thank you. Make sure you subscribe, like, and watch us for more.